Alien abduction, the three options that we have. The first one, there are extraterrestrials that are behind the abductions. The second, there are extraterrestrials and they are not doing the abductions. And the third option, there are no extraterrestrials and abductions are being done by something else.
We're here today in what we would consider a courtroom, the second most important trial in the history of mankind, the people versus the aliens, or the extraterrestrials. We're here in a courtroom today. You're in the jury, but you are also a judge, because what you hear in the jury box, you're going to have to judge.
The perpetrators, the Greys, the reptilians, the insectoids, and the Nordics.
The defense has had its witnesses on the stand for over 50 years. The witnesses for the defense are the entities themselves, who have always been in absentia. They've never shown up for court. The abductees, who bring the message from the entities, who refuse to come to court, and the channelers or the psychics, who bring the messages they receive from the entities, who still refuse to come to court.
The absent defendants have committed perjury. One case in point, they have lied about their address. In the 1950s and early 1960s, their message, they're from planets within our solar system. From 1970s on, human spacecraft visit the planets in our solar system, find no life. Condition on other planets found to be hostile to life. From the 1970s on, their story changes, claim their origins are from Orion, Pleiades, Sirius, and on and on.
Their projections are always unreliable. This is a cover from a book, Project World Evacuation by the Ashtar Command, full of prophecies. But you'll notice that it says on the back of the book, predicted to occur by the year 2000. Well, it's 2008, and nothing's happened yet.
They made many claims which lack substance. For instance, they are our benefactors. They are the ones who have created us by using DNA. Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Muhammad, and other religious leaders are really them. They will guide us in our next evolutionary leap. That the earth is actually a living organism. They teach that the earth will be destroyed if they cannot change mankind. They teach that they are more advanced both technologically and spiritually. They teach that they are corporeal beings and that they reside in other star systems.
The defense has had the witness stand for over 50 years. Now it's time for the prosecution to present its witnesses.
Testimony for the prosecution. Jack Valet. Credentials, Bachelor of Science degree in Mathematics from Sorbonne. Master of Science in Astrophysics from the University of Lille. PhD in Computer Science from Northwestern University. National Advisory Committee of University of Michigan College of Engineering. Was involved in early work on artificial intelligence. Dr. Valet carefully studied the problem of UFOs for many years with J. Allen Hynek. He's written 9 books and many papers about his research in the UFO phenomenon.
He should know what he's talking about, right? One of the things he says is, we are dealing with a yet unrecognized level of consciousness, independent of man, but closely linked to the earth. I do not believe anymore that UFOs are simply spacecraft or some race of extraterrestrial visitors. This notion is too simplistic to explain their appearance, the frequency of their manifestations through recorded history, and the structure of the information exchanged with them during contact.
The medical examination to which abductees are said to be subjected, often accompanied by sadistic sexual manipulation, is reminiscent of the medieval tales of encounters with demons. It makes no sense in a sophisticated or technical or biological framework. Any intelligent being equipped with the scientific marvels that UFOs possess would be in a position to achieve any of these alleged scientific objectives in a shorter time and fewer risks.
He also says, impressive parallel can be made between UFO occupants and the popular conception of demons. He continues, UFOs can project images of fabricated scenes, designed to change our belief systems. And he says also, human belief is being controlled and conditioned. Man's concepts are being rearranged, and we may be heading for a massive change of human attitudes towards the paranormal abilities and extraterrestrial life.
The symbolic display seen by the abductees is identical to the type of initiation, ritual, or astral voyage that is embedded in the occultic tradition of every culture. The structure of abduction stories is identical to that of occult initiation rituals. The UFO beings today belong to the same class of manifestation as the occult entities that were described in centuries past.
Testimony for the prosecution. Joseph Allen Hynek. Credentials: he had a Bachelor of Science from the University of Chicago, a PhD in astrophysics at Yerkes Observatory, was in the Department of Physics and Astronomy at Ohio State University. He specialized in the study of stellar evolution and the identification of spectroscopic binaries. He's a scientific consultant to Project Sign, Project Grudge, and Project Blue Book. In 1978, he delivered a talk on UFOs to the UN General Assembly, and he founded the Center for UFO Studies.
If UFOs are indeed somebody else's nuts and bolts hardware, then we must still explain how such tangible hardware can change shape before our eyes, vanish in a Cheshire Cat manner, seemingly melt away in front of us, or apparently materialize mysteriously before us without apparent detection by persons nearby or in neighboring towns. We must wonder, too, where UFOs are hiding when not manifesting themselves to human eyes.
Another peculiarity is the alleged ability of certain UFOs to dematerialize. There are quite a few reported instances where two distinctly different UFOs hovering in a clear sky will converge and eventually merge into one object. These are the types of psychic phenomena that are confronting us in the UFO mystery.
That was that one. We should consider the various factors that strongly suggest a linkage or at least a parallelism with occurrences of a paranormal nature.
Many UFO reports, he said, seem to pertain more to accounts of poltergeist and other types of psychic manifestations than to actual solid items of nuts and bolts hardware. This is one of the reasons, added Dr. Hynek, why I cannot accept the obvious explanation of UFOs as visitors from outer space.
Testimony for the prosecution, Raymond E. Fowler. Credentials: BA degree, magna cum laude from Gordon College of Liberal Arts. Tour of duty with U.S. Air Force Security Service. 25 years with GET Government Systems as a senior planner for the Minuteman Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Program. J. Allen Hynek said Ray Fowler is an outstanding UFO investigator. Director of Investigations for the International Mutual UFO Network, which is MUFON, and Ray has had books on UFOs published in the USA between 1974 and 1997.
And he said, I have watched in dismay as a number of respected UFO researchers move from the physical to the paraphysiological interpretation of the bizarre UFO phenomena. Now I, too, am being forced to re-examine the UFO phenomena in light of its apparent paraphysical nature.